Hello viewers, welcome back. Take Magbo is here, and in today's video I'm going to teach you how to differentiate between isolated, conjugated, and of course cumulated dienes. Now we have a problem on the board. The question says, which of the following is an isolated diene? Which of the following is an isolated diene? We have option A, we have option B, and of course C. Now to provide the first step to providing solution to this kind of problem is to understand the meaning of a diene. Now a diene are organic compounds that contain two carbon-carbon double bonds in their molecule. They contain two carbon-carbon double bonds. Okay, they are alkenes. Okay. Now, based on the position of the double bond, dienes are classified into three categories. Of course, the first is isolated diene. We have conjugated diene and we have cumulated diene. Now, first, let's understand the meaning of an isolated diene. In isolated dienes, the double bond are separated by two or more single bonds. Okay, they are separated by two or more single bonds. In essence, they are separated by a methylene group. Okay, now in conjugated dienes, the double bond alternate in position. Okay, the double bond alternate in position. What does it mean by that? That is, a double bond comes and the single bond goes. Double bond comes, the single bond goes, something like that. So they alternate in position. There's a switching between a double bond and of course a single bond. Now in cumulated dienes, the double bond share a central atom. Now we have some examples of dienes. We have option A, which is an example of a diene. We have option B, which is also an example of diene, and of course option C, which is also an example of diene. Now the unfortunate aspect is the fact that we do not know which is it: isolated diene, is it conjugated diene, or is it cumulated diene. We do not know yet, and that is why I'm here. Okay, now I defined, let's quickly identify, because the question says which of the following is an isolated diene. Now let's quickly identify an isolated diene. Remember that I told you that an isolated diene, in isolated diene, the double bond are separated by two or more single bonds, or in essence, they are separated by a methylene group. Now, let's consider the first option, which is option A. Now, I can see that there is a double bond here, and of course, a double bond on the other side. Okay. Now, there is a separation between the double bond. We have one and two single bonds. Okay. So two single bonds are separating the double bonds. Okay, so in essence, in isolated dienes, the double bonds do not interact. They do not interact commonly. They are being separated by a methylene group. Now that entails that this is an example of an isolated diene. Option A is an example of an isolated diene. Now this kind of diene is called 2,5-heptadiene. This is 2,5-heptadiene. Okay, now let's quickly identify the diene in option B. Now we have succeeded in identifying the correct option, which is option A, and I said option A is an isolated diene. It is called 2,5-heptadiene. Now quickly, let's step into option B now, just to identify which type of diene that is present in option B. Now we have identified isolated diene. Of course, we're left with conjugated dienes and cumulated dienes. Now in conjugated dienes, I say that the double bond alternate in position. In essence, the double bond comes, a single bond goes, a double bond comes, they alternate in position like that. Okay. Now in the example we have here, you can see a double bond there. There is a single bond. There is a double bond, and of course it goes like that. Okay. So definitely this is an example of a conjugated diene because there is a double bond being and of course here we have a single bond, double bond, single bond. It alternates in position. The double bond alternates in position between a single bond and a double bond. Okay, so this is an example of a conjugated diene, and this is 1,3-butadiene. This is a conjugated diene called 1,3-butadiene. Okay, it's an example of conjugated diene. Now the last but not the least, we have another diene in option C. Now let's identify, is it a conjugated diene, is it an isolated diene, or is it a cumulated diene? Now we have succeeded in identifying an isolated diene, I've succeeded in identifying a conjugated diene, and of course we're left with a cumulated diene. Now what happens in a cumulated diene is very simple. I told you that in cumulated dienes, the double bond share a central atom. They share a central atom. Now if you look at the last option, which is option C, there is a central carbon atom. There is a central carbon atom here. Okay, so there is a sharing of the central carbon atom. Double bond share a central carbon atom. Okay, so definitely this is an example of a cumulated diene, and this is 1,2 proper diene. 1,2 proper diene is an example of cumulated diene. So we're done with that. Remember that the question said we should identify which of the dienes that is an isolated diene, and I said option A was correct, because in option A, in isolated dienes, the double bond are separated by 2 or more single bonds. In essence, they are separated by a methylene group, and this is a methylene group, okay, separating the double bond. Okay, so we have identified that option A is the correct option, and it is called 2,5 heptadiene. This is an isolated diene. Okay, we have succeeded in identifying the types of dienes. Okay, we're done with that. So in our subsequent videos, we're going to be learning other solving other problems in chemistry. But for now, if you're interested in this kind of videos, don't forget to like and share. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel, MST Online Class. Follow me on TikTok, MST Online Class, and of course on Facebook, MST Online Class and MST Komagbe. Thank you for watching, and God bless you. See you in my subsequent video.